When you choose to invest in yourself, you choose to honor the quiet brilliance that has always lived within you. You choose to recognize that your life, your mind, your heart, your soul are worthy of time, care, patience, and intention. There is a sacredness in deciding that you matter. And when you begin to understand the value of your own becoming, you will stop treating your growth as something that can wait until tomorrow. You will stop placing yourself at the end of your own priority list. You will stop believing that everyone else deserves more from you than you deserve from yourself. There is a quiet revolution that begins the moment you decide that your future is shaped by the choices you make today, by the courage you claim today, by the love you offer yourself today. You must be willing to break the old habits that whisper you are not enough and step boldly into the truth that you are worthy of every ounce of effort you pour into your own evolution. There will be moments when the journey feels heavy, when the weight of your past tries to anchor your feet, when the voices of doubt rise like thunder inside your mind. But hear me clearly. You are not defined by the storms you have walked through. You are not limited by the mistakes you made when you did not know any better. You are not held hostage by anyone's opinion of who you should be. The beauty of investing in yourself is that every step forward loosens the hold of yesterday. Every moment spent nurturing your gifts, strengthening your spirit, and honoring your truth pushes the shadows back and allows your own light to lead the way. You must be willing to seek knowledge even when it is inconvenient, to practice discipline even when you are tired, to choose growth even when comfort seems easier. Growth demands patience. It demands vulnerability. It demands that you meet yourself again and again with honesty and compassion. But what it gives in return is immeasurable: clarity, resilience, wisdom, and a sense of self so strong that no storm can uproot you. You begin to discover that the more you pour into yourself, the more capable you become of pouring into the world around you with purpose rather than depletion. This investment is not only about the books you read or the skills you acquire. It is about tending to the unseen parts of yourself, the places that ache, the fears that silence you, the dreams you tucked away because someone once told you they were too big. It is about sitting with your own truth long enough to understand what you truly want from your life, not what others have instructed you to desire. It is about learning to forgive yourself, to embrace yourself, to celebrate yourself in ways you may have never been taught. There is a tenderness required when you are rebuilding parts of yourself that were neglected. You must learn to speak to yourself with gentleness, to offer grace where you once offered criticism, to breathe through the discomfort of becoming. Invest in your healing, because a healed heart sees the world through a wider lens, walks through life with more compassion, and speaks with a quieter kind of strength, the kind that cannot be taken, only grown. Invest in your voice, because there is a story inside you that deserves to be told. A story that has been shaped by struggle and softened by hope. A story that carries lessons someone else may need to hear. When you invest in the courage to speak, you free yourself from silence and you give others permission to rise alongside you. And when you stand in your truth, unwavering and unashamed, the world begins to shift around you. Invest in your dreams, for they are the blueprint of your potential. They are the whispers of the future calling you forward. Do not dismiss them as fantasies. Do not bury them beneath the weight of practicality or fear. Dreams are not meant to be caged. They are meant to be chased with devotion, with faith, with fierce determination. And even if the road is long, even if progress feels slow, every small effort adds another brick to the foundation of the life you are building. Invest in your peace. Protect it like a treasure, because it is one. Walk away from environments that dim your spirit. Release relationships that do not honor your growth. Say no without guilt when something threatens your well-being. Peace is the soil from which all other blessings grow, and when you guard it, you allow room for joy, clarity, and purpose to flourish. Invest in your boundaries. They are not walls meant to shut the world out. They are gates that allow the right energies in. When you learn to say yes to yourself first, you reshape the way others engage with you. You begin to attract alignment instead of chaos, respect instead of exploitation, authenticity instead of pretense. Invest in your faith, faith in something greater, faith in the unseen, faith in the quiet knowing that you are guided even when the path feels unclear. Faith steadies the trembling soul. Faith reminds you that what is meant for you cannot be chased away, and what is not meant for you cannot be forced to stay. Faith teaches you to trust the process, even when the process tests you. Invest in your time, because time is the one currency you can never earn back. Use it wisely. Use it intentionally. Spend it on what feeds your soul, not what drains it. Spend it with people who uplift you, not those who diminish you. Spend it on becoming, not pretending. Invest in your self-respect. Do not barter it for acceptance. Do not trade it for temporary validation. When you know your worth, you stop negotiating with anything that diminishes it. You begin to act from a place of inner richness, not emotional hunger, and invest in your joy, your pure, unfiltered joy. The kind that comes from doing what you love, from being fully present, from allowing yourself to savor the moments that make life tender and vibrant. Joy softens the hard edges of life. Joy reminds you that even in the midst of challenges, beauty still exists, and you are still deserving of it. Every investment you make in yourself multiplies in ways you cannot yet imagine. It shapes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you love, the way you forgive, the way you rise. It transforms your relationships, your opportunities, your future. And long after the applause fades, long after the world grows quiet, the strength you built within yourself will remain. And as you continue to pour into yourself, you will notice something remarkable begin to shift inside you. You will find that the parts of you once overlooked, once silenced, once doubted, begin to stand taller with a quiet but undeniable confidence. You will feel the subtle rise of purpose stirring within you, reminding you that your life is not an accident, not an afterthought, but a journey uniquely crafted for your steps alone. You will come to understand that every moment you choose to honor your own growth is a moment that strengthens your foundation, fortifies your spirit, and widens the horizon of what is possible for you. Investing in yourself is not simply about striving for success. It is about reclaiming the pieces of yourself that were lost to fear, overlooked by others, or dismissed by your own uncertainty. It is about giving yourself permission to evolve, to expand, to transform without apology. You must be willing to stand in the mirror and see not just who you are, but who you are becoming. And you must give that becoming the same devotion you give to your responsibilities, your relationships, and your obligations. Because when you grow, everything connected to you grows with you. There will be days when you question whether the investment is working, days when you feel as though you are pouring into yourself, but the results seem invisible. But growth often hides beneath the surface, quietly rearranging the pieces of your inner world until one day, seemingly suddenly, everything begins to make sense. Trust the unseen work. Trust the small steps. Trust that every page you turn, every boundary you set, every tear you wipe, every truth you speak is a contribution to the masterpiece you are shaping within. You must understand that the world benefits when you are whole, when you are strong, when you are rooted, when your mind is sharp, your spirit is nourished, your dreams are alive. The world does not need a smaller version of you. It does not need you to dim your brilliance, to comfort those who fear their own. It does not need you to shrink to fit into places that cannot hold your full expression. Invest in your wholeness so that you may walk through life with clarity, with courage, with a heart that beats in rhythm with your purpose. There is no shame in choosing yourself. In fact, it is one of the most courageous choices you can make, because choosing yourself means breaking free from expectations that were never meant for you. It means challenging the narratives that told you your worth depended on how much of yourself you sacrificed. It means rewriting the stories that taught you to be everything for everyone but nothing for yourself. Choosing yourself is an act of liberation. It is a declaration that your life matters, your voice matters, your dreams matter, your peace matters. Invest in the silence, for it is in the stillness of your own soul that you will hear the truths you have been running from and the answers you have long been searching for. Silence reveals the wisdom that noise tries to drown out. It reminds you that you are capable of listening to your intuition, capable of guiding your own steps, capable of discerning your own path. Invest in your discipline. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a form of self-respect. It is showing up for your growth, even when motivation has gone quiet. It is committing to your future self, even when your present self would prefer comfort. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you are capable of becoming. And every day you choose it, you reinforce the truth that your dreams are worth the effort, worth the time, worth the consistency. Invest in your curiosity. The world is far too vast, far too rich, far too layered for you to confine yourself to what you already know. Ask questions. Seek experiences that stretch you. Challenge your limits. Curiosity awakens the mind and expands the soul. It brings color to places that once felt dull. It reminds you that growth does not have to be heavy. It can be joyful, playful, boundless. Invest in your emotional strength, not by hardening yourself, but by learning how to feel without fear, how to process without shutting down, how to express without shame. Emotional strength is not the absence of vulnerability. It is the mastery of it. It is the ability to stand in your truth with an open heart. It is the courage to care deeply without losing yourself in the process. Invest in relationships that nourish you. Surround yourself with people who see your worth without being threatened by it. People who challenge you to rise without pushing you to break. People who celebrate your victories without envy and stand with you in your valleys without hesitation. The company you keep shapes the energy you carry. Make sure it is energy that supports your growth, not stifles it. Invest in your boundaries, for they are the safeguards of your emotional and spiritual well-being. Do not feel guilty for protecting yourself. Do not feel ashamed for saying no to what drains you. Boundaries are an act of love. Love for your peace, love for your growth, love for your future. Invest in your rest, not the kind that numbs your exhaustion, but the kind that restores your soul. Rest is not laziness. Rest is renewal. Rest is the soil from which new strength rises. Allow yourself to pause without guilt, to breathe without rushing, to exist without performing. Invest in your courage. Courage does not eliminate fear. It simply chooses to move despite it. Courage opens doors that fear would keep locked. Courage allows you to step into the unknown with faith that whatever meets you, there will help shape the person you are meant to become. When you nurture courage, you break patterns that once kept you small. You dismantle limitations that were built on doubt. You take ownership of your destiny by daring to trust your own wings. Invest in your vision. See beyond your current circumstances. See beyond the setbacks. See beyond the limitations that others have placed on you. Vision is a light that shines even in darkness. It reminds you that your current chapter is not your final one. It compels you to act with intention, to walk with purpose, to live with direction. Invest in your resilience. Life will test you. Life will stretch you. Life will sometimes push you to your knees. But resilience is the reminder that you can rise again and again and again. Not because the journey is easy, but because your spirit is stronger than every obstacle that stands in your path. Every hardship you survive becomes proof that you are capable of withstanding far more than you once believed. And as you continue to invest in all these parts of yourself, you will begin to realize that the return is not measured in accolades or achievements alone. It is measured in peace, in self-respect, in the steadiness of your soul, in the quiet certainty that you are walking toward your purpose with intention and grace. It is measured in the strength of your character, the depth of your healing, the width of your compassion, and the fullness of your becoming. And when you nurture this lifelong commitment to your own becoming, you will notice the subtle ways your inner world begins to align with the life you've always hoped for. You will begin sensing a calmness where chaos once lived, a courage where hesitation once ruled, a confidence where self-doubt once whispered. Investing in yourself creates a ripple, a quiet yet powerful transformation that reaches every corner of your life. It strengthens the way you show up, the way you move, the way you speak, the way you love, and the way you choose what deserves space in your heart. You will begin to see that you do not need permission to grow. You do not need validation to seek more. You do not need applause to pursue the higher version of yourself. Growth is not a performance. It is a private uprising within the soul. It is choosing to rise in the quiet moments when no one is watching, choosing to evolve even when no one is praising your progress. And when you invest in yourself, you stop living for the expectations of others and begin living for the expansion of your own spirit. You must give yourself the gift of grace while you grow. Growth is not always linear. There will be days when you fall back into old habits, days when you doubt your strength, days when you wonder if all your efforts are leading you anywhere at all. But consider this. Every flower that blooms must endure the darkness of the soil before it ever sees the sun. You are blooming even when you feel buried. You are rising even when you feel rooted in place. You are growing even when the growth is invisible to your own eyes. Invest in patience. Patience with your progress. Patience with your healing. Patience with your transformation. The world will try to convince you that you must rush, that you must race, that you must measure your growth by comparison. But your journey cannot be compared. It is uniquely authored for you. Patience allows your roots to deepen so your rise can be steady. Patience gives your dreams room to unfold in their own perfect timing. Patience teaches you that the becoming of your best self is not meant to be rushed. It is meant to be honored. Invest in your ability to start again. You will not always get it right the first time, or even the second. But there is greatness in the willingness to try again, to stand up again, to recommit to your growth again. Every new beginning is a quiet act of courage, a declaration that you are not defined by your missteps, but refined by them. Starting again does not mean you have failed. It means you have decided that your future is still worth fighting for. Invest in listening to your inner voice. The world will give you endless opinions about who you should be, what you should chase, how you should live. But your inner voice, the one woven into your spirit, knows your path far better than any outside noise. When you invest in stillness, when you give yourself permission to listen deeply, you will hear the quiet truth that the world cannot teach you. You already contain wisdom, direction, and intuition that is more powerful than you realize. Trust that voice. Honor that voice. Let it lead you toward the life meant for you. Invest in your mental clarity. Your mind is a garden, and the thoughts you allow to grow there shape the landscape of your life. Feed it inspiration. Feed it knowledge. Feed it content that empowers rather than diminishes you. You do not have to entertain every thought that enters your mind, and you certainly do not have to keep the ones that belittle your worth. When you invest in strengthening your mind, you equip yourself to face the world with intention, discernment, and strength. Invest in movement of the body, the mind, the spirit. Stagnation slowly suffocates potential, but movement breathes life into it. Move through fear. Move through uncertainty. Move through the discomfort of growth. Movement does not always require speed. Sometimes it simply requires willingness. Even the smallest step forward has the power to change the trajectory of your entire life. Invest in your passions, the things that ignite that spark inside you. You were not created to simply survive your days. You were created to live them fully, to experience the sweetness of your own gifts, to feel the fire of your own purpose. Your passions are not random. They are spiritual clues pointing you toward your calling. When you invest in them, even a little, you awaken a part of yourself that the world desperately needs. Invest in learning how to love yourself in fullness, not only the polished parts, but the flawed parts too. Not only the victories, but the wounds. Self-love is not about perfection. It is about acceptance. It is about standing before your own reflection with honesty and compassion, declaring that you are worthy of love even in your most unfinished form. When you invest in loving yourself, you create a foundation strong enough to hold your dreams, your healing, your transformation. Invest in letting go. The weight you carry from the past, resentment, regret, guilt, disappointment, cannot transform you. It can only delay you. You must learn to release what no longer serves your becoming. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from what keeps you bound. It is an act of bravery disguised as surrender. And when you release what has been holding you, you create space for what is meant to uplift you. Invest in your capacity for gratitude. Gratitude softens the heart and sharpens the vision. It allows you to recognize the beauty in small moments, the blessings in disguise, the quiet miracles woven throughout your days. Gratitude turns scarcity into sufficiency and transforms what you have into enough. When you invest in gratitude, you begin to see the world through a lens of abundance rather than lack. Invest in expanding your mind beyond the limitations that have been handed to you. You are not confined to the expectations of your surroundings. You are not restricted by the opinions of those who do not understand your potential. You are not held captive by the beliefs you inherited from others. When you invest in challenging your perspective, you free yourself to imagine a life larger than what you've known. Invest in your generosity, not because you owe the world your efforts, but because giving from a place of fullness reminds you of your own abundance. When you invest in yourself first, your giving is not an act of depletion. It is an overflow of the richness within you. And that kind of giving multiplies, touching lives far beyond your reach. Invest in your courage to walk away from what does not honor you. Not every environment is meant to nurture your growth. Not every relationship is meant to travel with you into your future. Not every opportunity is aligned with your purpose. Walking away is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is choosing yourself, your future, your peace over the comfort of familiarity. Invest in showing up for your life fully, not halfway, not hesitantly, not waiting for the perfect moment. Show up boldly. Show up authentically. Show up with the belief that you deserve a life that reflects your worth, your values, your dreams. Showing up is one of the greatest investments you can make in your becoming. And as you continue this journey of inward investment, you will one day look back and realize that every effort, every sacrifice, every moment of discipline, every tear shed in the process was worth it. Because you will see the strength you built, the wisdom you gained, the peace you found, the life you shaped with your own hands. You will see that the investment you made in yourself did far more than elevate your life. It transformed your very being from the inside out in ways that no external reward ever could. And so, as you continue this sacred journey of investing in yourself, remember this: you are the keeper of your own becoming, the architect of your own rising, the guardian of your own light. No one can walk this path for you, and no one can take from you what you have built within. Every choice you make to honor your growth becomes a seed of strength, planted deep in the soil of your future. Every moment you choose courage over comfort, truth over fear, and self-worth over doubt becomes another step toward the life that is waiting for you. The world may try to sway you, discourage you, or distract you, but hold fast to the truth that your greatest power has always been the investment you make in you. Because when you choose to grow, you become unstoppable. When you choose to rise, you become unshakable. And when you choose to pour into yourself with intention and love, the return will echo through every part of your life. Stronger, brighter, and more priceless than anything the world could ever offer.